Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a really exciting explainer. We're going to take a journey from having absolute zero knowledge of centralized IT management straight to becoming an enterprise IT hero. If you've ever wondered how large organizations maintain order and security across massive global networks without completely losing their minds, well, you are in the right place. We're going to master group policy management together.
Think about this scenario for a second. You've just landed a killer new job as a system administrator. You walk into corporate HQ on day one, grab your coffee, and your new boss turns to you and says, "Hey, I need you to secure our 1,000 corporate computers, update all their password limits, and map their network drives. Oh, and I need it done by noon." Wait, what? How do you secure 1,000 computers at the exact same time? You obviously can't run from desk to desk with a USB stick, configuring them one by one. I mean, that's literally impossible. What you desperately need here is a centralized rules system.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at the power of group policy. Second, understanding the GPO architecture. Third, essential security policies. Fourth, controlling the user experience. And finally, we'll tie it all together with a complete corporate scenario. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The power of group policy. We really need to understand the why before the how.
So before we start blindly clicking buttons and building out a network environment, we have to talk prerequisites. And the big one is Active Directory, along with its domain controllers. Active Directory, or AD, is essentially a massive centralized database. Think of it as the ultimate building directory for your entire company. Every single user, every computer, and every department, which we call organizational units, or OUs, lives right inside this database. Without AD centralizing everything from the get-go, centralized management just wouldn't be possible.
Now, once you have that Active Directory built out, you unlock what is basically an organizational superpower, and that is group policy. If AD is the directory of who is actually in the building, group policy objects, or GPOs, are the security keycards and the rules that dictate exactly what those people can and cannot do. GPOs solve that 1,000 computer problem we talked about perfectly, because they allow you to push company-wide settings instantly to every single machine in the database.
Moving on to Section 2, understanding the GPO architecture. Let's look at how we actually build the rules.
It's one thing to know what a policy is in theory, but we need to look at the mechanics of how we actually build, link, and prioritize these rules within a living, breathing enterprise environment. To do this, administrators use a specific dashboard, and the steps to get there are super straightforward. You just launch your server manager, install the Group Policy Management Console, which we usually just call GPMC, and then access your administrative tools. This console is your command center. It's the absolutely crucial central dashboard where you're going to create, edit, and apply all of your corporate policies.
Now, the really crucial point here is understanding how these policies overlap, because in a big company, they absolutely will. Policies follow a really strict hierarchy. A local GPO on a single PC has the lowest precedence. A site GPO for an entire physical office building overrides that. A domain GPO applied to the whole company overrides the site. And finally, an OU GPO, which is applied to a specific organizational unit, like say the HR department, has the highest precedence of all. Basically, the closer the policy is to the user, the louder it speaks.
And this architecture gives us immense flexibility through two concepts: inheritance and blocking. By default, an inherited policy flows down naturally from the top, the entire company domain, straight down to specific departments. But, what if there's an exception? Let's say the finance department deals with highly sensitive banking data. They need their own hyper-specific, incredibly strict password rules. Well, using the GPMC, we can actually block that natural inheritance from the top and enforce a strict exception just for finance. Pretty cool, right?
Section 3, Essential Security Policies. It's time to talk about critical defenses. Now that we've got the architecture down, let's walk through some rapid-fire practical activities, focusing first on the critical cybersecurity defenses that literally every network desperately needs. Our first activity is password configuration. By creating a group policy that enforces password complexity, mandates a minimum character length, and sets automatic password expiration every 60 or 90 days, you instantly prevent weak security points. You don't have to go around asking 1,000 employees nicely to use better passwords. No way. You simply enforce it across the entire organization, blocking unauthorized access right at the front door.
But unfortunately, passwords just aren't always enough to stop advanced threats. And this brings us to a really grave danger: ransomware. I mean, all it takes is one employee downloading one malicious email attachment to encrypt a company's entire database. It's a nightmare. But using a software restriction policy, we can create a company-wide shield that completely blocks unauthorized software executables from running on any machine. So even if the user clicks that bad link, the GPO steps in and says, nope, this software is not pre-approved by IT, and it stops the attack cold.
Sometimes, though, security is also just about legal compliance, and that leads us to our next activity, the login message banner. Imagine a corporate login screen displaying this warning: unauthorized access prohibited. All activity on this corporate network is monitored and subject to legal compliance. By pushing this notice to every single computer via group policy, you satisfy corporate compliance requirements and ensure that every person accessing the network has been officially and legally warned.
Moving right along to Section 4, Controlling the User Experience. Let's see how we standardize and streamline.
You know, GPOs aren't solely designed for blocking major cyber threats. They also standardize and streamline the daily office experience for employees, making their lives and, let's be honest, IT's life so much easier. Let's look at desktop restrictions. By preventing control panel access, restricting the Windows settings menu, and enforcing standard user limits, you stop rogue or just curious users from accidentally breaking their machines. You prevent them from doing things like deleting network adapters or uninstalling crucial software, and trust me, that dramatically reduces the flood of tickets hitting the help desk.
But it's not all about restrictions. We can also proactively give users exactly what they need, like automatically mapping shared network drives. Instead of an employee calling IT on day one asking where the marketing folder is, a group policy automatically checks their department membership the second they log in. The moment their desktop loads up, their specific department's shared file server drive is perfectly mapped to their computer. It's seamless, and it saves a massive amount of time for everyone.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, the complete corporate scenario. Let's bring all of this together. Let's apply our newly found centralized superpower to a fully simulated enterprise structure. This brilliantly illustrates exactly why group policy is such a game changer. Imagine we have 3 different departments. The HR department gets a restricted desktop GPO, meaning they literally cannot open the control panel. Finance gets the strict passwords GPO, so they're dealing with a 16-character limit that expires frequently because of their sensitive data. Meanwhile, the IT department gets a full access GPO with absolutely no user restrictions. The day-to-day experience of the machine dynamically changes based purely on the user's department membership. And the best part? It is all managed from one central console.
So, the value of mastering group policy really cannot be overstated. Understanding this centralized architecture is absolutely critical for diverse IT careers. It automates repetitive help desk tasks, saving you hours of headaches. It empowers system administration. It fundamentally strengthens cybersecurity postures against massive threats like ransomware. And it allows your IT infrastructure to scale effortlessly, whether you're managing 50 employees or 50,000. It really is the ultimate tool for managing enterprise environments.
We've covered the architecture, the crucial security policies, and the sheer power of shaping the user experience from a single central console. You've seen exactly how it transforms absolute chaos into total order. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you hold the keys to the enterprise network, what will you automate first? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.